"Look at Tucker, Mom," my son calls me from the other room. When I round the corner, I see my 14-year-old son with his arms around our 2-year-old Labrador Retriever, who is standing on 2 feet with his front legs around my son in a big bear hug. The sight is very cute, but it promotes bad behavior in our young lab, who doesn't know the difference between jumping up on my son or anybody else. Similarly, toddlers and young children can do some of the silliest things that we love to laugh about and sometimes even encourage them to do when actually it promotes bad behavior. It is important as parents to nip the bad behavior in the bud. There are times as a worn out, tired, stay-at-home mom that I didn't want to put the energy into disciplining my kids. The temptation to just ignore the poor behavior was a tough battle. However, I try to remind myself that I didn't want to see that behavior in them as an adult. I knew of adults that threw tantrums when they didn't get their own way. Maybe they no longer cried and screamed, but I did see stomping, pouting, and holding grudges, even manipulation. I was bound and determined to put an end to tantrums right away when I saw them in my own children. Throwing a tantrum is just one example. There are behaviors that our kids will take into adulthood if they are permitted to. As parents, we must have the wisdom to see the behavior for what it is and do our best to put an end to it. I'm reminded of the words of wisdom found in Proverbs 22:6. "Start children off on the way they should go, and when they are old, they will not turn from it." As parents, we are not expected to know all the answers. Raising your children is the most important job you will have in this life. It's important for us to get help and glean from others who have already gone through these stages or are going through them currently. When my children were toddlers, I belonged to a group made up of moms of young children. We got together twice a month and learned from each other. In this group, I learned that whatever stage my children were facing in their development, it wasn't odd, unique, or new. Other moms had gone through the same thing, or at least something very similar. I read lots of books, learned from other parents, and emulated those parents who were loving and whose children were well behaved. Now that my children are teenagers, when I see poor behavior in them, it is not as easy to nip it in the bud all the time. But my husband and I do not ignore it. We address it right away and take it to the Lord in prayer. I would like to hear from you. Please leave in the comments below how you are able to nip poor behavior in the bud with your children.